I can tell you the license plate numbers of all 6 cars outside. I can tell you that our waitress is left-handed and the guy sitting up at the counter weighs 215 pounds and knows how to handle himself. I know the best place to look for a gun is the cab of the gray truck outside. And at this altitude, I can run flat out for a half mile before my hands start shaking. Now, why would I know that? How can I know that and not know who I am?
What's up, guys? Welcome to Run It Back. I'm your host, Blair Bomber, and today I'm breaking down one of my all-time favorite films. I mean, it's a trilogy, I guess you could. Yeah, it's a trilogy. The Bourne Identity. It's great. It's one of those movies where it's like, I saw it when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, this movie's supposed to be pretty cool. I don't really understand a lot of it. My dad seems to be kind of into it, so maybe I'll just do that. Dude, honestly though, like the first time I even heard of this was my dad went and saw it in theaters, and he was so hyped about it that he pretty much just told me what happened. Because this is 2002, and so I was 11? So I couldn't see this movie. I couldn't understand this movie. So my dad was like, okay, I'll just retell it to him as I know it, and then he'll get it. And basically all I took from it was, there was a guy who was shot and they found him in the water and he couldn't remember his name. That was pretty much all I remember from what he told me. And I'd imagine that, I mean, my dad's a pretty conservative guy, so I think he left out, the dark parts, like when the dude gets stabbed in the hand with a ballpoint pen and then jumps into traffic to commit suicide. And he left that part out, I'm pretty sure. But, I mean, I can't be too, certain of that. All right, let's get into it, though, okay? The Bourne Identity. Here's a quick plot summary. If you haven't seen it, you should probably eat all the dicks. But come on, dude, see it. It's great. You gotta. This isn't like me pumping up like, guys. Have you guys seen this Bourne Identity movie? It's pretty good. It came out 19 years ago. 17? What year is it? It came out 17 years. 17 years ago. Man, 2002 seems like it didn't even almost happen. It's so long ago. All right, Bourne Identity. A man is picked up by a fishing boat, bullet-riddled and suffering from amnesia before racing to elude assassins and attempting to regain his memory. Come on, what more do you want? The dude is found in the water. He's got bullets in him. And he can't remember that he is a super secret spy. And then he gets shot by assassins. Why wouldn't you want to see that? I feel like people don't always know this. I mean, people probably have seen it but don't know that it was based on a novel. Robert Ludlum wrote all of these. But what I love is the fact that like this was a book, and then the guys that made the movie were like, okay, hold on. All right, well, what we're going to do is we're going to take the name and then we're going to change everything else. Which is insane. Like, it's crazy. Could you imagine if Harry Potter did that? Like if someone remade Harry Potter and was like, hey, we're going to call it Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, but it's going to take place on a playground in the Bronx. You'd be like, what is happening? They're British. Like, nah, we know, but also we don't give a shit, so shut up. What's even more messed up is like the guy died. Robert Ludlum died in 2001, so he was kind of on board. And I wonder like if he had, optioned the rights for his book and then been, like pretty adamant, like, hey guys, like as long as I'm around, you just do me a favor and, keep my work pretty much the same. And like, oh yeah, sure, Rob, sure, dude, yeah, we'll keep it. Then he dies in 2001. Like, by the way, guys, we're changing it up. Matt Damon's in the role now, and so Matt Damon, yeah, the guy from Good Will Hunting, he's really funny. We're gonna have him in this serious movie. Robert Ludlum just turns over in his grave. I mean, he probably would have loved the movies. They're pretty good, but they're not what he wrote, so whatever. Directed by Doug Liman. I'm going all over the place. I'm gonna try and keep this one pretty close to the chest. Vest? Is it close to the chest or close to the vest? I feel like either one works. And what does that even mean? Keeping it pretty close. It's like covering your heart, like you're keeping your hands in close when you're fighting. Why is that metaphor I can say that and not really know what the genesis of it is, and then you can hear it and pretty much know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm going to keep it pretty. I'm going to try and not go too crazy with this as I'm in the middle of going crazy with this. Okay, let's back to it. Directed by Doug Liman, which, dude, by the way, dude directed Swingers. That was a movie he did before this. He directed Swingers, which is, dude, that's coming up. I know, like, there's 4 or 5 of you out there that are like, dude, when are you going to do Swingers? I'm going to do Swingers. It's going to be great. I'm going to get the homie Big Jake on there because me and him once got, like, super duper high. I was living in this house with 4 chicks, which, guys, if you're ever thinking about living with 4 chicks that you're not dating, don't do that. Just don't do it, because what's going to happen is you're going to move in with them, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, dude, I would never live with 4 chicks because, like, they think I'm going to have sex. I want to have sex with them. And you're going to tell yourself, I don't want to have sex with them at all either. And then, like, a weekend, one girl walks around wearing what she would usually wear, and then your mind as a fucking dude will be like, well, maybe we could make it work. No, you can't. You can't make it work. You're never going to make it work. It's like having 4 wives that hate you and never even thought about it. It's like having 4 lesbian wives, because that's what they are to you, because they look at you like you are not even on the menu, man. You're not even in their world. You're the guy that lives in the basement in the old living room that is a living room that's not even a living room anymore. Remember earlier when I said I wasn't going to go off? And the next thing I did after that was go off. Look, Doug Liman did Swingers, and then Swingers was great. And it kind of gave him this lever. It's like, oh, I really want to, take this novel that I love and change everything about it. So give me money. And they did. Budget was $60 million, and it made $212 million. People, we love spy shit, dude. I don't know why we love spy stuff so much, but we do. I mean, I know I've always loved it. I'm like, give me an American dude, or just, give me a white guy, I guess, in Europe, surrounded by other white guys, and make him smarter, faster, stronger, better fighter, better kisser, better everything. I don't know why he's a better kisser, but for that joke he is. You know what I mean? That's what we want, apparently. And dude, like, this is kind of what's wild about this movie is they didn't want Matt Damon, like, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know how you read those things like, oh, this almost went to this guy, and you can never really picture it that way. But imagine, like, them trying to get this thing done, and you're like, the guy from Good Will Hunting and, like, the 4th lead in Ocean's 11, we're gonna get that guy in this. And some dude was like, I think he's going to be pretty good for the role. But most people were like, get us Brad Pitt, who they almost got. They wanted Brad Pitt to do this movie. And then Brad Pitt was like, I'm going to go make Spy Game. Remember Spy Games? No, you don't, because it was trash. Brad Pitt, not a good spy. I'm sorry. Wait. Not a good serious spy. He played a fun spy in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But that wasn't supposed to be, that's not a serious movie. That's like an action rom-com, which at the end of it, he left Jennifer Aniston and married a crazy person. Angelina Jolie, though, I mean, I feel like any man makes that deal. You make that deal, damn good deal. I make that deal, damn good deal. Call back to Inglourious Basterds that I didn't, well, it's not really a callback because I didn't mention it earlier. But, I mean, you got to know, if I'm bringing up Brad Pitt, I'm going to go to Inglourious Basterds at some point. You guys got to get with this game or get lost. But yeah, they didn't want Matt Damon because, like, he had never really done an action role before, which I get. Like, it's weird to think of, like, taking a guy who's not an action star and just plugging him into this serious, gritty role. And that's what it is. I mean, it's a guy with amnesia running around Europe discovering that he has all these things, which is so dope but also terrifying. I think about it all the time. Like, I just imagine, like, if that's what I wish would happen to me. Like, I want to be in Russia and someone speaks Russian to me, and I'm just like, and I just say it. I can't even fake Russian. I can't even speak fake Russian, guys. I can't even speak it's nothing. I can't do it. But imagine if you could do that, and someone would speak something to you, and then you just go, "Oh yeah, I know how to do that too." That's how dumb I am, though. Like, I think that if I could learn a language, then I could just jump in and out of it, and it would just process back to English for me. Like, I'd be speaking English, but I would just flip a switch, like when you change guns in GTA, and be like, "Now I speak Russian." Was that Russian? That wasn't even a Russian accent. I can't even do a Russian accent. I can't even do a Russian doing an American. I can't do that. Or Russian doing an American. It's like a Russian doing speaking English, which isn't him doing an American. Can you imagine if we called that? Hey, he's doing American over there. See that Russian guy? He's doing American. Idiot. Fuck that guy. Anyway, Matt Damon's playing this role, and it's kind of wild to think about him doing that, because before that, he had a pretty good run. Okay, so here's the run that Matt Damon was on. He did, let's just skip all the ones we don't care about, and we'll start with Good Will Hunting, because for me, that's when Matt Damon started. Everything before that, don't give a shit. Good Will Hunting, incredible. It's a top 10. I mean, I guess maybe it's might not really be considered a top 10 movie for most people, but rewatchable. The rewatchability of that movie is incredible. Good Will Hunting, Saving Private Ryan, Rounders, dude. He did those 3 in a row. That's like, I get excited when I do 3 open mics in a row. Like, I get excited if I do 3 open mics in the same neighborhood, and I feel like I planned it out. Like, I orchestrated this shit so well. It's like, oh, hey, would you guys hear about when I hit Hidden Shamrock, Durkins, and then fucking Patsy's last week? Mm-hmm. Shit, I'm making goddamn moves out here. You feel me? Saving Private Ryan, Rounders, Good Will Hunting. Damn. But then he did Dogma and The Talented Mr. Ripley. Fuck off. Legend of Bagger Vance. Doesn't know how to swing a golf club. Can't swing a golf club. Do you know that? You realize that? It's not I saw a buddy of mine on Facebook post some shit about, this is one of the best fucking movies. And I was like, what? Dude, he's not hitting it. Like, it's like when you watch Kenny Powers throw a baseball. He's not throwing 102. He's got no wind up. He's just stepping and like noodling the ball down. It's terrible. Stay with Legend of Bagger Vance. Fighting Forrester? What was he doing in that? I don't even remember him fighting Forrester. Was he the main character? I thought there was a black dude was the main guy of Fighting Forrester. It doesn't matter. But then he kind of goes a little dark for a second. Then comes back out with Ocean's 11, The Majestic, Gary, Stolen Summer, Spirit, Stallion of Samarin, The Third Wheel. Okay. So from Ocean's 11 to this movie, it went trash. It went 4 trash movies in a row. And then this. So I guess I can see how you'd be like, oh, are we gambling on the guy that did Spirit, Stallion of the Samarin? I mean, it was a voice. Oh, it's a voice role? Okay. Well, he's doing a voice role. That doesn't count. I'll take that back. But he did do The Majestic, which... Wait, that's a voice cameo too? Fuck. You know what? He did The Third Wheel, and he was terrible in that, so fuck The Third Wheel. But then he did Bourne Identity. And it's pretty cool. And I love hearing things about when a director is like just an asshole. Okay? I know I'm switching the gears on you guys again. But this is so funny to me because the guy that Doug Liman had this whole thing where what he would do is he'd be like, I just really want to get behind the camera for a second. And I feel like if I get behind the camera, then it creates this kind of this great relation. Even though I don't really fucking know what I'm doing, it's gonna make a cool relationship between me and the actors and the camera. It's gonna be a nice little threesome between me, the camera, and I don't know how Doug Liman speaks, and why would you? He's a director. If you know how a director's like his cadence, he's doing too much. Like, I mean, who the directors that you can do an impression of right now? Tarantino and Spike Lee, guys who hate each other. And I can't even figure out why. Like, I can't even figure out why. They both do blaxploitation films. And one of them wants to be mad at the other guy because he's white. I mean, come on. No, I totally get that, though. That makes total sense to me. Spike Lee, it would be weird if Spike Lee didn't hate Quentin Tarantino. You know? I mean, also, Spike Lee... we'll not go down the rabbit hole. He's incredible. He's amazing. The movies he makes are fucking amazing. You can't even shit on him for this. But let's go back into Bourne Identity. Bourne Identity, dude. Here's the thing. When you watch a movie like this, like I do, I'm sitting there and I kind of put myself into it, and I'm like, that's how I know I couldn't be a super spy. Because some of the things this guy does, and he's just reacting and being like, even like the smart things, like, okay, obviously the fighting and the driving a tiny piece of shit car through Europe are things most of us can't do. But he does things where he like kicks the shit out of like a dude, and then takes his radio, puts it in his ear, and then he goes up there and he grabs like the fire escape, like the map that gives like the layout of like where the fire, like the exits are. He grabs that and walks slowly through the building and runs when he has to. If that's me, I'm like a cokehead in Predator 2. Just and Jason Bourne is like, nah, man, I'm gonna be calm and cool about this, and I'm gonna go to the roof, and then I'm gonna climb down the wall because, okay, Chicago, chill on the fucking sirens, right? I'm doing a podcast. Crime doesn't stop, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. Crime does not stop, and it doesn't pay unless you're dealing drugs. Then, I mean, it pays pretty well because people like drugs. People are always gonna like drugs too. What was I saying? Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. Look, and I think that's like the cool thing about this movie is the sirens and the drugs. There's no drugs in this. But I don't know. I think I get too deep into the plots of these movies, and I feel like when I do that, it's like you already saw the movie. And if you followed it at all, then I'm not going to tell you anything you don't already know. I don't have any theories about, well, I feel like the third lead in this one, I feel like Conklin was based off of the guy that ran it. It's like, no. The movie's fucking dope. The hand-to-hand is dope. And I like to watch movies like this after I've seen them a couple, like 10, 50, 30, 45 times. Like I've seen this movie before. And I just I nitpick it about certain things, which I think are fun. Like, okay, like there are the fight scenes are all pretty dope. Well, they're all really dope. He fights this guy with a pen. He grabs a pen, and a dude has like a bunch of knives, and then Jason Bourne's like, dude, I got this blue pen, and I'm gonna stab you in all the places you don't want to be stabbed, including right through like between your, like he gave him like stabbed it, like if Spock was doing the Spock sign, and he stabbed him in between those fingers. You know what I mean? Do you guys get what I'm trying to say is? Okay, guys, I feel like you aren't following me. All right? Look, fighting are dope. The thing about it, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Is the fight scene sounds like the sounds of like the bodies hitting, or like the punching sounds of them hitting skin. It's the worst thing. Can you guys hear that? It's like they're coming for me. Are they coming for me? The sirens? You guys hear this? It's like, oh, there's a knock at the door. How crazy would that be? Well, he was recorded. What if I'm a secret agent, guys? I don't remember. How did I get here? It's just wild. Whatever. Get back on track. The fight scenes, the sounds they make, the sound effects of dudes punching each other. It's like a cartoon. It's like a whack, whack, whack. Thump, 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 whack, whack, thump, thump. It's terrible. And you wouldn't really notice it unless you were looking for it. But I've seen it enough times where now I notice all this bullshit. And that's what happened. I don't know. Maybe that's stupid. It is kind of stupid, I guess. But after this movie, Matt Damon went on to do some shit, though. He did, he did Battle of Shaker Heights. You've seen that. He was the executive producer of that movie. He did Stuck on You. Remember Stuck on You? Dude, Matt Damon is following classics with some strong Euro Trip. Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my vein every Sunday. She tells him she's in church, but it doesn't go. Since he's on her knees, and Scotty doesn't know. Oh, Scotty doesn't know. Oh, so don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. I remember stealing that song off LimeWire. That was 2004. I was in the 7th grade. But you saw tits in that movie. And this is like pre-Pornhub. So anytime you saw any titties, it was like, this matters to the rest of my life. And we used to download porn on LimeWire too. We were bad kids. We were bad kids. Shout out Blake Grove's house. Shout out Dwight and Sally hooking it up with that upstairs room. Actually, when we went downstairs, it was almost even worse because we were isolated. We'd like Skinamax. Ooh, ooh. 4 sequels, though. 5 sequels? Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Ultimatum, Bourne Legacy, which did not have Jason Bourne in it, which is fucking weak. And then Jason Bourne. So 5. So 4 sequels. Pretty good run for a movie that pretty much just stole the titles of movies and then made them not anywhere anything close to about those movies. Does no one else think that's funny? I think that's... Hey, give us the title of that thing. I want that fucking title, dude. Give me that fucking title. Do you want the rest of the book? No, I don't. I want this I'm like Die Hard. Give me the fucking... Is that what Die Hard did? I swear Die Hard like just took the title and then made the movie like nothing like the book. Which is also what I would rather. I would rather that happen, though. I would rather it be a thing where it's like if you're going to remake a movie based on a book, either make it exactly the same as the book or nothing like it at all. Just take the title. That was the problem I had with those Da Vinci Code movies. Is the books, Angels and Demons, Da Vinci Code, those were all really good, like incredible books. And then they just changed everything about them in the movies. Like, yeah, the same character, yeah, the same basic premise, but like the big parts, I don't know, the endings were always different. Why are you changing the ending completely? Because you want to fit a test audience? Why do we give all this power to test audiences? It's a bunch of assholes who got paid to be opinionated about a movie that they could never make. Or even be an extra in. Yet we're going to give them some kind of power to like change a big part. Well, these last 3 test audiences, we had Sarah, who she's a 4th grade teacher and she really knows comedy. And then we have Tim. Well, Tim, he took a writing class at community college. I mean, and now he's a guy who does recycling for clinical trials of animal testing, and he knows all about the spy industry because he knows all about spies and espionage. So let's give him some fucking... Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I hate that. Can you tell I hate it? By the rant I just went... Is that another siren? Fuck off! Have I lost you guys yet? I think you guys stay in longer when it's just me talking because you can just tell I'm going to lose it at some point. All right, let's go... Let's fucking... The sirens are making me gonna want to... They're gonna make me commit a crime. Is there a word for that? When the sound of something makes you want to do the thing the sounds are from? Oh, I guess that's porn. Like if you hear moaning, you're gonna be like, fucking... I don't like this, but I wish I was the one doing the moaning. Anyone? Bueller? This entire podcast could just be Bueller because I'm talking to no one. Does that make me an insane person? Even people that I know that do solo podcasts, they're usually doing it with somebody else in the room, like a producer or someone helping them out. They're not just talking into a microphone like me. I'm such a fucking narcissist. I hope my mom stops listening to this because she's going to know. I think my mom knows me better from me doing these podcasts than she does from like the conversations we have when I was, in the same area code as her. No, shout out Bonnie. She gets it. Bonnie's a real one. All right. There's this segment I kind of want to do because I think it's hilarious. If you go on IMDb, there's a thing called the Parents Guide. And it basically what it does is it gives you, it runs down the censorship. So like sex and nudity, violence and gore, profanity, alcohol, drugs. It basically talks about like the things that give something a certain rating. And then people will come through and they'll kind of like they talk about that part of the movie and how they rate it. Okay, so I'll just go into it because I think this is amazing. Okay, so sex and nudity, it was voted as mild, right? And the comment under what is happening is this: a man's and a woman's upper bodies are both stripped to their vests while he cut her hair short in order to hide her identity. After he finished, they kiss passionately. Did that even qualify as mild sex and nudity? Doesn't sex have to be, like, mild sex in my world is like, she jerks him off under the table at dinner like in Wedding Crashers. That's mild. She rubs his ball bag and then it's implied that he comes because he goes, so good. It's so good when you joke. I love when you joke. It's so good when you joke. That's mild to me. All right, we'll go to violence and gore. The first one under violence and gore. Okay, so violence and gore is moderate, and then it says several fistfights. Guys, this movie about spies, are there fistfights in that? Dude, there's several fistfights. Are they pretty intense? Well, they're moderate. Oh, here we go. A man commits suicide by leaping through a glass window off a balcony, which I feel like that wouldn't kill him. Although I guess it's implied that he's hit by a car. So maybe that probably would. Profanity. Okay, here we go. At least 2 F words, though both of them are hard to hear, and one is mouthed. Fuck off, dude. He mouthed the F. Could you imagine? Hey, this guy's got a real foul mouth. Oh, yeah? What did he do? He mouthed the F word. Are you sure he wasn't just saying fox? Because it looks the goddamn same. Oh, Jesus. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Okay. Feeling stressed, Marie buys a flask of whiskey and takes a swig. That bitch! She buys a flask of whiskey and mild. It should be nothing. There is no alcohol, drugs, and or smoking that should be in any way seen as explicit. This is trash. This is trash. Oh, what is this? Hold on. Frightening and intense scenes. That's what we're rating how intense. Oh my God. Okay, the killings and shooting scenes could be frightening to young children. Oh, you think the killing scenes could be frightening to kids? Yeah? Is that what do you think a burger could be harmful to a kid becoming a fat fuck? Okay, was that mean? To the fake kid I just made fun of? I thought you can't even say fat fuck about a kid. It's like a fat fuck is reserved for like someone who is legitimately like super fat and disgusting and they're mean to dogs. Then it's okay. If they're mean to dogs, is it okay? If the kid tried to kill a cat, can I call him a fat fuck then? God, I hope Bonnie stopped listening to this. All right, dude. That was a good run. I'm happy with that. Are you guys happy with that? I ran around, 27 minutes? I talked for 27 minutes about the Bourne Identity, and I didn't even really talk about the Bourne Identity. I mean, I did. I talked about it enough where you guys know what I'm talking about. The Bourne Identity is fucking good. Oh, and by the way, I just want to apologize. I know I've been kind of sporadic on these. I've been running around doing a bunch of fucking stupid shit. So I'm going to plug something at the end. But what? How dumb am I? I end it like I went off the rails on this one. And if there's anybody who's still listening to this at 27 minutes in of me talking to the wall, and I'm going to go and plug it now, I should go back and delete all of this and just plug my 2-man sketch show, Bathtub Boys, premiering Sunday, March 3rd, 8 p.m. in Second City's Black Hawk Cabaret. Tickets are $10. You can buy them at secondcity.com/tickets. Pretty good plug, guys. All right, fuck off. I'm out of here.